we are digging into a huge topic for so many professionals in India. How in the world do you make that dream of moving abroad a reality? We're going to peek behind the curtain and break down the playbook of an immigration consultancy called PR and Visas. We'll see how they help people navigate what can be a really complex journey. Let's get right into it.
It always starts with that dream, doesn't it? The idea of landing a job in a global tech hub, or maybe getting a degree from a top-tier university. Or, maybe it's just about starting a new chapter and giving your family a different quality of life. That's the why that gets this whole thing started. But then, almost immediately after that dream, comes the reality check. All of a sudden, you're just drowning in paperwork, you're trying to figure out all these acronyms, and the rules seem to change every other day. It feels like this impossible maze, and honestly, for a lot of people, that's the one thing that stops them in their tracks. So that brings us to section 1. Let's call it the global dream versus the maze.
And here's what's so interesting when you really think about it. The issue isn't that you lack ambition, not at all. And it's not that there's a shortage of opportunities out there. The real challenge, the real bottleneck, is building that bridge. It's all about navigating the bureaucracy that connects your skills with those global opportunities.
So, if the big challenge is getting through that maze, what's the solution? Well, according to the material we're looking at today, it really comes down to finding the right partner for the journey. And that's where this company, PR and Visas, comes into the picture. As you can see, they're a consultancy and they are laser-focused on one thing, helping Indian professionals, students, and their families handle the nitty-gritty logistics of moving to another country. And their whole mission is to tackle that maze we were just talking about head on. The goal is to take what is often a really stressful and confusing process and turn it into something that feels smooth, manageable, and, most importantly, tailored specifically to your situation.
All right, so what does that help actually look like in practice? Let's dive into the different paths they help people map out, and we'll start with the ones all about building a global career. Just take a look at this list for work permits. You can immediately see the sheer scope of what they're doing. It's not just the classic destinations you might think of, like Canada or Australia. They're covering major European hubs like Germany and Ireland, huge financial centers like Singapore and Hong Kong, and even the super fast-growing business world of the UAE. It shows a strategy that's really covering a huge range of industries and lifestyles. Now, what if you're looking for something more permanent, like residency? This is where it gets really interesting. They frame the choice around what you prioritize in life. See the distinction? Canada and Australia are positioned for their amazing social infrastructure. Think top-notch healthcare and schools. Meanwhile, Hong Kong and New Zealand are highlighted for just an exceptional overall quality of life. It's a pretty smart way to help you think about what you really want in a new home.
And for students, the process is even more detailed. I mean, look at these steps. It's not just about getting the visa. The support starts way, way earlier with things like choosing the right university. And it goes all the way to providing support after you've already landed there. That's a true end-to-end service.
And hey, it's not always about making a permanent move, right? So their services also cover that whole spectrum of other travel needs. From a simple tourist visa to explore the world, to visas that help you unite your family, and even specialized routes for entrepreneurs or for business travel.
Okay, so we've seen what they offer. But the big question is, how do they actually do it? This next section gets into their core approach.
This chart basically breaks down their secret sauce into 5 key parts. It all starts with a personalized plan. Because let's be real, no two people's situations are identical. Then there's this intense focus on document perfection, to avoid any silly mistakes. They offer that end-to-end support we saw, keep you updated as rules change, and all of this, they say, leads to a really high success rate. This quote from them really sums up their whole philosophy. They're basically saying this is about so much more than a transaction. The goal isn't just to file papers. It's to create an experience that feels smooth, totally transparent, and, at the end of the day, empowering for you. So after we've looked at the challenge, the services, the method, it all really boils down to one thing: actually taking that very first step. Which leads to the final question they ask, and it's a direct one. Are you ready to take that ambition you have and turn it into your actual reality? And really, that's the question we'll leave you with. It's bigger than just a visa or a job title. It's about taking a moment to imagine the life you actually want to build for yourself. So what does your global future look like? Thanks for joining.